Alright guys, welcome to lesson 7. I think this lesson is actually going to be quite easy for you guys, so we're going to move through it pretty quickly. Two things we're going to be looking at here. The first one is area models, and the other one is rectangular arrays. You already know rectangular arrays. They're these guys. An area model is just a rectangle that has the same shape as the array, but it also has the side length labeled. Actually, that would not be a 3, it would be a 4 and a 2, and that gives you 4 times 2 equals 8 square units. So that's what we're going to be doing during this lesson. Let's go ahead and move on over to the actual lesson. Remember, we're working with area models and rectangular arrays. Area models are like this, rectangular arrays are like that. Alright, so we're going to start with A, and it's asking us to use a straight edge or a ruler. Straight edge is a ruler, so you will need a ruler to draw a grid of equal squares within the rectangles. These are the rectangles. We're going to draw the grids in there. And we're going to find and label the side lengths. And then we're going to multiply the side lengths to find the area. So we'll start by completing these. And you guys know how to do this pretty well already. So if you've made it to lesson 7, you're doing just fine. And now to find the side lengths, we need to count number of units there and number of units there. Those are going to give us the lengths of the side. So we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 up here, and we have 1, 2, 3 over there. So we have 4 times 3. We're going to come on down and put the area in here. Because 4 times 3 equals 12 square units. You guys know this pretty well by now, so I'm not going to do all of these. I'm going to do A, and then I'm going to do B, and then ask you to do C, D, E, and F on your own, and then I'll move to the back side. So, coming on up to B here. First thing we do, first step is draw the grid onto the rectangle. So we're basically taking this area model of a rectangle and turning it into an array. Okay, now the next step is to find the side lengths. Side length here and the side length here. So what we're going to do to find that side length is we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 square units is this side's side length. And we're going to count across 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is this side's side length. So we have 5 times 4 equals 20 square units. And basically, remember back to multiplication, what you're saying is you have 5 rows of 4. That's true because there's 4, there's 1, 2, 4 in each of these rows. 5, so you have 20 square units. Okay, go on to C, D, E, and F. So pause this video, try and finish those. Do your best. If you get stuck, come back to the video and see how we did the other ones. And when you're done with the front, go ahead and continue the video and we'll do it on the back side. Alright, this is kind of cool because it's actually showing us how we would actually use area to really measure a room. So, the area of Benjamin's bedroom floor is shown on the grid to the right. Each square equals 1 square foot. So we are imagining this is a map and each one of these squares is 1 square foot. We've talked about inches and centimeters, but when we talk about houses and building houses and things, we use feet. So each square equals 1 square foot. How many total square feet is Benjamin's floor? So first off, they ask us to label the side lengths. And we can do that by, even though we haven't made the grid yet, so they changed the order on us, and we're just going to go with what they're asking, is we need to figure out, if you look at the grid out there, how many units that is, and how many units that is. And we can do that by counting these ones. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 units are out there. So we'll label this side as 9. Then we're going to count on these ones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this one is 11. Can you see how we counted? Can you see how these units would be in here? And you'll see that now. Because now it's asking us to use a straight edge to draw the grid. So we'll go ahead and start with that. I'm going to draw this grid in here. So I've kind of gone ahead here. I've drawn my down ones, and I'm going to draw my cross ones. Okay, so now we can count the number of units we have in here to make sure that they actually do have 9. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you see whether the units are on the inside or the outside of the rectangle, it does not matter. You still end up with the same number of units. Let's go ahead and go do these ones. The 11, let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 units, whether it's on the, you count them on the inside here, or whether you count them on the outside of the rectangle, we have 11. Now we're going to find the total square feet is 9 times 11 equals, 9 times 11, if you know your math facts, you know that that is 99 square feet. Okay, so that's where we are with that. Remember, we counted them up before. We counted these up before we even drew the grid. Same with these, and then we double checked by making the grid and counting on the inside. Okay, let's go on to number 3. Mrs. Young's art class needs to create a mural that covers exactly 35 square feet. Mrs. Young marks the area for the mural as shown on the grid. Each square equals 1 square foot. Did she mark the area correctly? Explain your answer. Alright, so for this one, we are going to again count on the outside and see how we do. We have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's that side's square feet or square units. And this one will count down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6. One has a length of 7 and one has a length of 6. 7 times 6 equals what? If you know your math facts, you know it's 42 square feet. But how much was she supposed to make it? 35 square feet. So did she mark the area correctly? The answer would be no. The area is too big. Go ahead and pause it and finish up with that one. And then we'll look at number 4. Okay, number 4 says, Mrs. Barnes draws a rectangular array. Mila skip counts by 4s and Jorge skip counts by 6s to find the total number of square units in the array. When they give their answers, Mrs. Barnes says that they are both right. Use pictures, numbers, and words to explain how Mila and Jorge can both be right. How many square units might Mrs. Barnes' array have had? So we're looking at the numbers 4 and 6s. One skip counts by 4s, one skip counts by 6s, and they're both right. How could that be? Well, if we know in a rectangle the area has 2 side lengths, so couldn't 4s and 6s, so if this was 4s, and this could be 6s, or the other way around. You could also go 4 down here and 6 here. And 6 times 4. So if Mila here skip counts by 4s, she would be counting the columns. And if Jorge skip counts by 6s, he would be counting the rows. So that's how they could both be right, and it would actually give us a total square foot of 24 square units. Because one was counting by 4s, one was counting by 6s. That could have been, one was counting by 5s, one was counting by 7s, one was counting by 3s, and one was counting by 5s. It could have been anything as long as there was 2 numbers that they were skip counting by, because those are the 2 side lengths. Or those are the 2, one is a row, one is a column. Alright. That's it. I hope if you understood everything, go ahead and go on to the homework and the exit ticket. If not, come back to the video and watch that part again. Good luck.